Well. We are back. A lot of people said we would never come back, but we made it. It's another Friday. We are doing an Empty Netters live show brought to you by BetMGM. I am Chris Powers in LA. That is Dan Powers in New York. And welcoming to the show, our good buddy Jason Demers, also in New York. How we doing, boys?
Yeah, you're outnumbered, CP. We got the two New York boys here, and we're just looking at your pretty ass in the studio. I love that Eastern Conference All-Star jersey that's been added to the bar.
New duds.
Other shoulder.
It's on the TV. I got mirrored.
JD, how we doing, babe?
Yeah, let's ride, boys.
Come on, dude. That's the energy I needed.
I was trying to pretend I was frozen, and then I just had the slow blink going because my eyes were just burning.
There was a moment where I was like, wait, is he frozen? And then I saw the blink.
He got
me.
me.
I was like, okay, here we go. Something's coming. Something's coming.
Let's ride.
Oh, let's
that's
ride. Awesome. This is going to be one hell of a show, boys. We got JD for about 20 minutes, so we're just going to rip it. We're going to get right into it. We're going to get weird on this Friday. Going to have a blast. And we got to talk about the Canes first. Unbelievable stuff, man. Listen, I'm not surprised the Canes won this series, and I'm certainly not surprised after the way they played through the first three games. But here we are. We've got an absolute shit kicking. Like, what are we thinking here, fellas?
Crazy. I don't understand. We talked about it yesterday on the network, and I felt like it's like your parents, when you spill milk on the floor, and they kind of knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming, but we were just disappointed because we thought you knew better. And we thought this Leafs team, which, I think deep inside, unless you're Cats fans, I think everybody kind of wants them to win because this shit show's just been going on too long. And we're like, this is the time. This is the time to step up. Everybody's going to step up. Everybody's going to have a game. And they fall flat and they lay an egg of epic proportions. And, I had them to win that game. I could not believe that they lost into the likes of, Mikula, Kulikov, Ekblad. It was all the D-men, the second and third pairing D-men scoring. And nothing against those guys. They're great. But I just feel like it's a cultural thing that they just can't seem to shake. And now they can go on to win the series. And if they do so, that's great. But that's the only way that they absolve this season and this playoff run is if they win this series. Because even though they have a fantastic game tonight, they win, they go to game 7, they lose. We're all going to look to this game, which was a game where they needed to have, and they did not have it. And that is just, again, I'm disappointed because I love them all, and I'm disappointed.
Dude, hold on, CP. You know how I know this is a horny Friday is because I tried to kick off the Cap series, and JD just went straight into the bloodbath of tonight, and I love it.
Did you talk Caps Canes? I was like fired up for Toronto. I just had to talk Toronto.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Like, I'm glad you did. Like, come on. Why waste time?
Oh man, I didn't even smoke a J before this. Let's.
No, I like it. I like it. You started it off. We're talking the game tonight first. The ticker's all fucked up. It doesn't matter. I want to talk about Florida, Toronto, because you got us going. Like, we're not going to get that foreplay and then not finish off here. Yeah. I'm with you, man. Like, we watched those first two games. We gave them all the respect. Chat, don't worry. We'll get back into the Cap series after, but this is good. We've got JD for 20. We got to talk about this series. The way that these last three games have gone, and when you look back and realize that it all started with a Brad Marchand OT winner, when it looked like the Leafs might have gone up 3-0, might have had complete control, and then bang, Florida's back in it. Then we get a shutout. Then you damn near get another shutout. Bob is back. The big boys in Toronto look like they've completely rolled over. They're exposing the belly, looking for a belly rub so they can go off to play some golf. I don't know how you possibly feel anything but pure dread if you are a Toronto fan.
Yeah, I've been hard on the Toronto fans all year, specifically the lower bowl, and not to say that they didn't piss a drop last game, because they didn't. They were quiet as church mice, but they didn't give the Toronto team didn't do anything to bring them into that game. It was, other than maybe the first minute of the second period, I think it was all Florida Panthers. And it's just goes to show you there's levels to this league and to this championship mentality that I feel like is lacking in Toronto. And until they do something, we had Messier on NHL Network that game. We talked to him a little bit, and he said two things that's like sat with me since that. I was, it really was like an indication of just his knowledge and wisdom of the game and being a leader. He was like, two things is one, you need to do something outside of your game that makes you uncomfortable come playoff time to win a championship. You truly do. Whether it doesn't have to be everything, because if you're a goal scorer, you got to score goals. But there's a moment, and there's moments in a series where you have to do something outside of your character. You have to go out, you have to block a shot, you have to maybe get into some fisticuff, get your ass kicked, but just to help the team win. And then the second thing is winning changes you, and you understand what it takes. And these long playoff runs change you. You look at the Edmonton Oilers. That long run last year changed them going into this year. They understood and understand what it takes to win and how hard it is. Florida Panthers, since that finals run, they have understood and get what it takes to be a championship winning team, because you don't know unless you go through that. And you have to go through that. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's what Toronto's done. And they just, they kind of give you the same canned answers. And after the game in the league, of when a game's bad, responding to the media, because I know the media is tough on them. And again, it's hard to win in this league, but they have done the same thing every season and expecting a different result. Somebody has to go in there and say, fucking enough's enough. I got to either swing my stick and get, especially that last game with 10 minutes left, to not have a response and to just kind of be waiting for the game to be finished. No, somebody needs to go, whether it's Mitch Marner, whether it's John Tavares, whether it's Austin Matthews, whether it's William Nylander, you got to go and spear somebody, slash somebody, get into a fight, show them that you give a shit. And it's not to say I think they all care. I think they all care. And I don't want this to get clipped and be like, I don't care. No, every player in the NHL cares. But the thing is you have to care so much that you have to be willing to do something that's not within your character. And you have to step outside of yourself for the team, for the fans, and for the Toronto Maple Leafs crest that you're wearing on the front of your jersey. So again, it's not an indictment on any of these guys. It's just saying that's what it takes to win. And do the Toronto Maple Leafs core forward, do they have it within them? I don't know. We're going to see. We have 2 more games. We're going to see if they have it in them. But last game, they did not show that one iota. And, they're the only 2 things, those 4 guys and Brandon Shanahan, that are the things that are left from this franchise, this organization. Everything's kind of been changed. So it comes down to them. So they got to be willing. Everything's changed but them. So they have to be willing to finally change and shed that skin and turn a beautiful goddamn butterfly for all of us.
It's true. CP, you and I were talking about the William Nylander effect from last game. Like, what did you think the effort levels were looking like from those guys, and what needs to change?
Well, I had said, dude, it was so crazy watching I think it was back-to-back nights, watching McDavid have a first period back check so hard he goes careening into the end boards, and then Mitch Marner spinning around like a top while he gets back posted, and
throwing
I was like,
fucking pizzas through the neutral zone.
Exactly the difference right here. McDavid is literally willing to fucking break his collarbone in the first period of a series. He's up 3-1. That's the effort needed.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And JD, to go into what you were just saying, dude, the thing that fucking blows my mind about this team, and I hate comparing people to McDavid because you're comparing people to a T1000 that's been sent from the future to play hockey. But you see that guy doing his press conference after beating the wheels off of Vegas and being like, I don't give a shit about your stupid question, and I don't care about anything, and I'm not going to smile because I felt the pain of last year, and the only thing that matters to me is winning. And that gets you fired up. That's that Kobe mentality, right? That's what's there to be happy about. And you then watch Matthews with his fucking tail between his legs after the game doing the like, oh, we didn't give him a reason to stick around. And he looks bored. He's like, yeah, here we are again. I hate that I have to answer this question. And it's like, I know you can't judge, like you said, you can't judge a player's character or their mentality based on how they're talking to the media, but you can definitely do it on how they look on the ice. And I said to CP, I thought Nylander looked like he was playing a completely different game from the rest of those guys. And, they're still getting dog walked 6-0, 6-1. So it's just like, if you can't get a fucking hard on at home in front of your fans trying to stay alive, we really think they're going to go down to Sunrise with a bunch of those bath salt lunatics in the stands and win? I think this barn is going to be fucking mental tonight. And I just don't see how, if these boys can't get up at home and can't get up, throughout their careers, what makes us think they're going to do it away tonight?
Yeah, it's the time will tell. And, I don't want to go too hard on the players because, you look at Brendan Shanahan above all this, and Brendan Shanahan had ample opportunities to make changes. Not to say that they can't pull this series out of the fire. I just think it was such a bad collapse. Everybody thinks the series is over, but you never know. They can come out and win tonight and win game 7, and we're all going to be like, oh, we look like idiots. So I'm kind of still reserving my full shit kicking for these guys. But what I look to in Florida versus Toronto is you had Jonathan Huberdeau there, who I love Jonathan Huberdeau. He's a hell of a player. He was coming off a 115-point season. This team we thought was primed for the Stanley Cup run. They go and make a huge trade and go get Matthew Tkachuk. Now at the time, people go, "What the hell's going on?" You trade away Mackenzie Weegar and you trade away Jonathan Huberdeau for Matthew Tkachuk. It's like, what the hell's going on? Like, these are two guys that had career years. Well, there's times in an organization you have to make that tough trade if you think that the guys that are there are not going to get you to the top. Now, Jonathan Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar, if they stayed in Florida, this team would be in the playoffs every single year. Would they have won? I don't know. They obviously thought, Bill Zito, that they could win without them and bring in Matthew Tkachuk, but that categorically changed that team, and it turned that team into a bunch of goddamn lunatics, like you said. Now, Jonathan Huberdeau, fantastic player. Mackenzie Weegar is a borderline Norris Trophy defenseman.
Yep.
But you had to give up something to get that dog that was going to be the catalyst to win you a cup. Now, you look at Mitch Marner. That could have quite possibly been Mitch Marner's last game at home in Toronto, because now all of a sudden they lose that game, and there's reports coming up from Chris Johnson that he's kind of mulling leaving. And I'm like, well, the whole season it was like, I'm staying. And now when your back's against the wall and you lose a game, you might leave. I would have traded him this past year. I know he had a fantastic season, but it's very similar to Mitch Marner and Jonathan Huberdeau, where Mitch Marner was leading the team in points. Now, I think people are going to ask, do we re-sign him? We got to pay him. Do we pay him? I think you don't, regardless of if they win the cup or not. I think you move on, and you have to find something to come complement these other pieces on your team, because Mitch Marner is a fantastic player, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy to get you over the top.
Dude, and isn't it so I agree with all that. And
in this situation, I'm going to say in this situation, he could be in a different situation and win. And that's the thing. Like, it requires a perfect chemistry of all the teams together, of all the players together. You need to find the perfect balance. I don't know if they have the balance in Toronto.
Yeah.
They need something. They need to change.
It's fair, and I actually hadn't really considered this when you were talking about the core four and Shanny kind of being the last guard of what they built. And there's a chance that they lose Marner and Tavares, which is an interesting thing. It's like there's a world where you look at this and all that's left is Matthews and Nylander after this year. And I will get back to, this isn't over. I mean, they could absolutely win tonight. We're kind of shitting on them for losing 3 straight, but this is a different team. I do like what Berube's done. They could absolutely win this game in 4-7, but there is that element. You're right. That's just like, I mean, if I think about Marner and how good he is, he's getting Selke votes most seasons. People forget that, despite his shortcomings in the playoffs. The thing that I can't get over is if you are this Leafs team and you come this close, you bring in Berube, and if you lose this game, or if you lose in 7, and then Marner and possibly Tavares walk for free, that is going to be such a tough pill to swallow. And when you add on top of that the fact that there were rumblings of a possible 1-for-1 Marner Rantanen trade when he was still in Carolina. And you could think about Rantanen playing how he is right now, could be on this Leafs team, signing an 8x12. Like, that is going to be haunting. Like, if they do not win this series, that is going to be haunting if these guys leave.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think initially it'll piss the fans off, but at the end of the day, like, that's money you don't have to spend that you can spend somewhere else. Now, the perfect world, you can get your deal done, but I know as GMs and stuff like that, it's tough to kind of make things, especially of that magnitude. When you're trading a big player like that, like Mitch Marner, and you know, everything has to fall into place perfectly for you to execute that trade. So I do give them a little grace there. So, but that's just money you don't have to spend. I just don't think that's the guy you bring back, especially if he wants 13 million. I think he'll get it, and I think he'll go get around between 11 and 13 million. I think he's deserved that. Again, I'm giving him his flowers. I just think to win a cup in this situation, I don't know if they have it, because if I'm them, and let's say they beat Florida, bing bang, they beat Florida in 7, they get Carolina next. Now they get Carolina next. Carolina's dogs on a bone right now. Like, they look, and this is a perfect segue in TV of us getting to the Caps Canes game, which is how I like to bring things full circle. But you play this Carolina team, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, like, you're hey, this is no bueno, because these guys come and they do not stop coming, and I don't mean that in the Donald Trump sense of they come, but they come hard and fast.
They do. Yeah, CP, go.
JD, I wanted to ask you something about Matthew Tkachuk, because I should have thought it was such good insight into how that changed the culture of the team. What do you do in a playoff series when you're going against a Matthew Tkachuk and he's doing all the head game shit, like all nice, pointing at Nylander, pointing at elbows, you're next, buddy. But then you see on the ice in Game 5, Matty Nyes being like, "You want to go?" But it's like 4-0 Florida, so Tkachuk's like, "No."
Too late.
So like, if you can't just fight him, how do you combat his mental warfare in a playoff series?
Well, that was like the other thing, is he's yelling and chasing William Nylander down. Don't even ask him, number one, to fight. Just jump him. And if you take a penalty at that point at 4-0, who gives a shit? If you take a 2-minute penalty, grab him and try to get as many swings on him. And then the thing with him is, like, you know, I find with Tkachuk, when you leave him alone, there's like two things. When you leave him alone, it gets him more and more confident. But then also when you go after him late in a game like they do, it gives him, he knows you're winning. You have to go on. You got to get on him early, and you have to stay on him. You need to have a guy like I look at like a Bobby McMahon. I'd be like, Bobby McMahon, you're playing against Matthew Tkachuk all playoffs, kind of like Montreal did with Anderson and Tom Wilson. They had Josh Anderson on Tom Wilson all series. Yes, they lost in 5, but that was a way closer series than anybody would have thought. People thought they would have steamrolled Montreal, and every single one of those games could have went Montreal's way. I would have taken a guy from Berube and said, "Listen, Bobby McMahon, this is your guy, Matthew Tkachuk. Try to score, try to play good defense. When you are on the ice with him, if there's a whistle, you're running into him, you're cross-checking him. When he has the puck, you are running him over if you have an opportunity. And after every whistle, you are making it so he is only just thinking about you and not thinking about William Nylander." Because, again, you can hear him on the broadcast yelling, "Hey, Willie." And I'm like, is somebody going to go over there, throw a water bottle at him or something? Like, because, again, you can say it doesn't affect you, but yeah, it affects you and it affects your team because no one's saying anything. And, you know, it's again, I know that's probably told to them from the coach side, like, don't entertain him. But for Matthew, he's so good at that. And it's kind of like,
he's so good at that, man. You're right.
It's so tough, like, because if you let him do his thing, he's going to do his thing. But if you don't, and late in the game, you ask him to fight and you try to run him, that kind of gets him going more. So you have to stay on him right away and almost burn a game. Treat him like you would treat a McDavid. And I'm not saying he's Connor McDavid skill-wise, but, like, he's able to affect the mentality of a lot of the top players just because he's so good at those mental mind games. You get on him and you just every shift, you cross-check him. Every shift, you talk to him, you chirp him. Doesn't matter if he scores on you 3 times. You stay on it all series and invest to try to pull him out of his own game.
And that's just some of the stuff that they haven't really learned. Like you were saying that Mess said, right? There's the Panthers have learned how this stuff works over a long playoff series, and the Leafs haven't quite figured that out yet.
100%.
Yeah. I was going to say, to close out that series tonight, it does feels so much like Matthew Tkachuk hasn't potted a big goal in a few games. And
if we're bet, you got BetMGM behind you. I mean, minus 230 right now. So I mean, that there hasn't been a minus like 200 in a while in the second round, and that is a huge. They know something.
Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk, anytime goal scorer, seems real juicy right now, is all I'll say. All right, let's kick it back to the beginning. Cats, Canes, like we had to talk about. This was the series, JD, that I was saying to you guys, and CP, you and I have talked about this so much. I thought that this was going to go 7. I was so pumped up for this series. Couldn't wait to see how both these teams matched up against each other. I believed in the Caps so heavily all season. So many people wanted to call them frauds. I don't think they're frauds. I think this series has showed us how insanely good defensively this Canes team is, because yet again, Caps in a back against the wall at home need to win. They get 19 shots in this game, 4 in the first period, 5 in the second period, 0 for 3 on the power play. Ovi can't get going. What did you guys see in this game, and then kind of the whole series?
Well, I mean, this game was the best effort that the Caps made to get to the net, and I think get to Freddie Anderson. I mean, not enough credit goes to Freddie Anderson. He has been fucking lights out. And
dude, we said last episode we think he's probably the best player, best goalie in the playoffs right now. Like it's
him or Ottinger before last night. But the thing with Freddie is Freddie's always been a good goalie. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
but when he's healthy and he feels good, we're like this. He's unbelievable. So, and he's been great. But it was the best. It was the best the Caps did of taking the puck to the net hard, making Freddie uncomfortable. They could have had 5-6, but the way Carolina just absorbs pressure and doesn't panic, and they stick to their structure no matter what, that is what kind of tilted. And before the series, I had the Caps winning against Montreal, and I took the dumbest fucking bet of all time, taking New Jersey to beat Carolina in round 1. But when we got to the second round and I redid my bracket, I said Carolina to win this series strictly because they're just quicker to pucks and they're a little bit more urgent around the ice. The Caps like to kind of move the puck around. It's their defense are very puck moving first defensemen that like to kind of hang on to pucks. And Carolina, you got to move it quick and move it fast. And I just don't think the Caps got their legs under them in time. And then the last game they were skating, but you're down 3-1 and you're desperate. But they needed to keep that urgency and desperation all series long. And it would have probably been a different series, but that's just what Carolina does, man. It's relentless pressure. As John Cena said, a ruthless aggression.
It's so true too, man. And like, that's the thing is, we keep talking about how good their D is, and their D is phenomenal. CP was all over it. The way that they step, the way that they control their gaps, they don't give anyone any time to get zone entry. They don't let you set up. But you are right, their forecheck is also suffocating. Like, they are just relentlessly all over you. And like, CP, what did you see in this game? A closeout game here, and of course, I do feel like Jordan Staal always takes his opportunities, and of course, Jordan Staal gets his first goal of the playoffs in this game, first goal of the game. But what did you see from the Canes that just made this one, like you mentioned, feel like the Caps never had a shot in this game?
Dude, we were talking to Jarvie after, where it's like the boring hockey thing, but it's just they don't waver. There's no, like, I watch Vegas, guys, and it's like Vegas will play the Oilers and have the best 10-minute stretch I've ever seen. They're throttling Edmonton, and then they'll go 15 minutes getting puck rammed down their throat, Oilers killing them, taking 15 shots. It's just the waves, the roller coaster of the game. Carolina is just fucking steady the whole way. They're like, this is our game. This is what you're getting. It beat us if you can, and no one can yet. But it's like insane. Even when the Caps had that overturn goal, which like felt like that could have changed the whole thing. But even that, like when that went in, I was like, they're going to come back. Like Carolina's just going to keep pushing. So that's their strength for me in the playoffs. It's just how consistent they are. It's absolutely insane. But I'd ask you guys, JD, you go first. If this series, great. A lot of people were picking the Caps, but Carolina goes, fuck you, fuck all the doubters. But if they don't do something this round, is their season a failure still because of what's happened with them in the past?
No, I think they've surprised a lot of people, and getting to the conference finals. I think not winning a cup is I think a failure in terms for any team. because you want to win every year. But, getting in the conference finals with all the shit that went on with this team and the fact that they've rallied around themselves and this coaching staff, I think is a big thing for the Carolina Hurricanes. And, the other thing that we kind of didn't mention is, they've been looking for a game breaker and trying to trade for game breakers when they had one there the whole time with Andrei Svechnikov, who's scoring and what is he, second in playoff scoring?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'll
I think
check
so.
it out.
I think he's
and I just think he wasn't talked about enough, and that's the player they've been looking for to kind of get them to that next level. And they're close. I mean, it's going to be tough getting through Florida or Toronto, but this is a team that's like fully playing with a chip on their shoulders. And my, oh my, by golly, gee willikers, would it be amazing if Mikko Rantanen played the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Finals?
I can't even talk about it.
I think it would be the league would absolutely hate it revenue wise, but I think the fans, like the true hardcore fans, would be like, this is unbelievable. That make a trade where everybody's like, Carolina's dead in the water. What a bunch of idiots. And now they're in the finals against Mikko Rantanen, who got dealt away, got traded 3 times this year, more than I got in my career. What a that guy is.
Dude, I was actually thinking, I don't know how many basketball fans are on the chat, but I was actually thinking, I forgot about this, but the Knicks and the Wolves did that huge trade in the offseason where they're like, hey, you take some of our superstars, we're just going to swap this out. And now they're both careening towards the final. And I was like, oh, that'd be so nuts. And then it's happening here too. Like literally Dallas and Carolina are going to do it.
It would be sick. It would be sick. I mean, like you're right, JD. I could see the league being like, ooh, but I actually think a Dallas Carolina final would be gas. Just a battle of the South, a revenge series, like Rantanen just going through, killing all of his exes. I think a lot of people would hate watch this series too. It would be unbelievable. But
Dan, before you get off that though, Dan, the narrative's always like, oh, it's the Rantanen revenge tour, which I love, right? But like, to me, that part of it is the Carolina revenge tour because they're like, fuck you, Rantanen. Like, we wanted you here. Yeah,
we wanted. They just said Carolina got screwed heavy.
Yeah, like you fucked us. So they're like, dude, we shipped you to Dallas and then beat your ass anyway. And I'm like, that's actually a crazy narrative.
It would be the most villain shit ever if Rantanen and Dallas won that series. But yeah, the Canes would go into that being like, this motherfucker refused to sign here because we're not good enough. We're not in a big enough city and we can't win a cup. That would be, I think the storylines would be fucking scenes. It'd be fantastic.
Sebastian Aho's best friend, he leaves him.
Yeah.
Aho's there. He said, fuck you, Aho. I'm out of here.
I'm going to go.
Where's Mikko?
Yeah.
Battle we wanted to see.
He's like, yeah, Aho, you're cool. There's 15 Finns down in Dallas, though, so I'm just going to go there.
Go hang out in the South.
But yeah, man, I love what you said about Svechnikov. He's another guy like Freddie who's struggled with health. And yet, yeah, you see him healthy right now in the playoffs. He's got 8 goals. Seth Jarvis, as we've been saying all season, deserves those first line minutes. He's getting them. He's making a huge difference. But this to me was wild, man. Something that I wanted to point out to you guys was in this game, I feel like CP, you mentioned that Edmonton, no team in these playoffs feels more confident going into overtime. Like if the Oilers go into overtime, they're just like, yeah, we're winning. I think this Canes team going into a third period tied 1-1, they have the same mindset because they're like, we've been responsible. Freddie's dialed as he's been every single game. If you're 1-1 and you're the Canes, you're like, we're winning this game. And I think we just watched that in the third period. Like, yeah, sure. It got down to 3 minutes when Svech kind of got that no angle goal. But yeah, man, it's just like that to me, it just showed how confident they were. And it was a Canes type of game. Low shots for both teams, no power play goals either side. They rinsed Washington at the dot 34-19. But to me, it's like just pointing out. So like the big boys for Washington, right, in this series through 5 games. Ovi, 1 goal, 0 assists. Strome, 0 goals, 2 assists. Wilson, 1-1. Chychrun, 1-1. Protas, 1-1. McMichael, 1 goal, 0 assists. PL, 0 goals, 1 assist. Carlson, 1 goal, 1 assist. Like, you just neutralized all of their best players, and that's that. Finito.
They matched up horrible against Washington.
Horrible.
Matchup they needed. They needed Jersey to win, and I just think you knew this was happening, I think, all year, because every time Carolina played Washington this year, they kind of exposed them a little bit, and you just knew it was coming. And I thought Logan Thompson played incredible, and he just couldn't hold down the fort. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people didn't talk that Martin Farivari getting injured was a huge piece for them missing. Enormous.
Great call.
People don't know, like, if you don't watch the Caps and you're kind of like, Capitals suck. I'm like, Martin Farivari, like, kind of had I wouldn't say a break. He's been in the league a little bit now, but he had a breakout season. And I think it just kind of threw off the pairings just a little bit, just enough. And he's a kid, plays 20 minutes a night. And they just couldn't kind of overcome that. And it's one of those things. Ovi stopped scoring. He's pacing their team. Did they run out of gas because they're chasing the Ovi record? Who knows? But they just looked off all playoffs. They looked off in the Montreal series too. I didn't think they played great the Montreal series. They just won because they had a little bit more talent.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I was actually surprised how many people were picking the Caps after that series. Obviously, it looks easy to say now.
Everybody's like, Caps are going to dog walk Carolina. I'm like, you guys fucking nuts.
Like, did you see round one? Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina's, even though New Jersey was the Walking Dead, they put a beating on them.
Okay, JD, listen, we know you're going to take off, but before you go,
one more.
Yeah, you want to do a whole segment, or do you want to bounce?
No, okay, you give me one more. Lead me into one more thing, and then
I want you to give me 60 seconds on the Stars Jets. Like, you think the Jets are back in this now, or is it like, no, the Dallas just going to take care of it at home?
Well, is Hellebuck due for a good, and this Jets team due for a good road game? Because it's the only way they're fucking winning is if they have a good road game.
Correct.
They've been. I don't understand how bad you can be on the road and how good you can be at home. I get it that there could be you could be good at home and you struggle on the road. This is like, they're like an AHL team on the road and they're like the best team in the world at home.
They can't be scored on. They can't be scored on at home.
But I will.
My 60 seconds. I want to know what Connor Hellebuck does when he gets on the road. I want to know where this guy fucking goes. I want to know where he eats, who he sees. I'm like, Connor Hellebuck. I don't know what happens, what like Severance thing happens to him when he gets on the plane. But if anybody watches Severance, I feel like he's got a chip in his head and it's like, and he just comes back home and says, what happened? Like, you got shelled. You got shelled in Dallas, my guy.
Dude, I think it's legitimately the contrast of the two places. Like, you're going from fucking Winterfell down to Arrakis, and I think he doesn't know how to deal with it.
Like, come on. Like, does he not like the U.S. that much? Like, he crosses the border and it's just like, just fuck.
Dude,
you're American goalie.
Yeah. Like, come on, buddy.
It's so bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, it's so bad. That's the thing. And he's so good at home. He is absolute. Like, that game last night, they piss pumped Dallas. And I get it. They're on their backs against the wall. But they piss pumped them the first two games at home. It's just Mikko Rantanen had a hat trick. But they fist bumped them for 3 games at home, and on the road they are so bad.
So bad.
Series last year, you guys at St. Louis. It's like best team in the league, worst team in the league, best team in the league. I'm like, how does this team? He's got to mix. If he plays a half decent game in Dallas, they can win in 7. Because I do think this was the best team in the league for a reason. Connor Hellebuck specifically, but this team plays a good brand of hockey. Fuck, I don't know. He's got to eat some pasta. I don't know what he's got to do, but.
Dude, first of all, you know how like it's innie and outie and Severance? I love it's like his homie and his roadie, and he's like, he comes back on the plane, and he's like, his roadie pulled his groin, he gave up fucking 10 goals.
He comes back, he's like, why is my back killing me?
Dude. The idea that Helly's homie is a Vezina winner and Helly's roadie is a beer league bum.
That's what you have. There's your next thumbnail. It's literally the homie.
Dude, and JD, we said I think he should get a buzz on the road. Like, he should have a couple shots before the game, because like, who fucking cares? You suck sober. So like,
I said last game in Dallas, I said, fuck it, start Comrie.
Yeah.
Throw Comrie in game 6. Just say, hey, Eric.
Agree.
Hey, Eric, you're playing tonight. Kelly, take a seat. We'll see you for game 7. Because I think
stay home, JD. Don't even come. Stay home.
I agree.
Stay home.
I think if Comrie would have played, he could have maybe got them a win against St. Louis or Dallas on the road. I
totally agree.
I completely agree. If nothing more for the fact that it would have rattled Dallas's cage so much, they'd be like this. Who the fuck is this guy, dude? Like, we don't know how to shoot on this guy.
Ventriloquist dummy. That is just the best guy ever. He's the fucking nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
I love him.
My God.
I'm like, play him. Just throw him in. Just say you're going. Don't even tell him until 5 minutes before the game. Don't tell the team. Like,
get him in there.
Get ready, and then just walk in, Scott or Neil, and be like, okay, starting lineup. We got Scheifele. We got Connor. We got Velarde back in. we got Pionk and Sandberg, and in nets, we got Eric Comrie. Let's go, boys. Ah! And I'm like,
Hellebuck's like looking around like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No one told him.
no one told him. All right, I'm like,
All right, beautiful stuff,
Incredible.
JD. Thank you for joining, buddy. I'll see you later.
I'll see you,
buddy.
tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, God.
Yes, sir.
The New York boys.
Oh my God. All right. That was Jason Demers. What a beauty. Thanks for joining. CP, let's stay on Dallas, Winnipeg. But I do want to say, I had a couple things to close out. Sorry, chat, for the whiplash, but a couple things to close out the Caps Kane series. Looking at the Caps, I do think this season was such a lovely surprise, right? Like it came out of nowhere, playing this well, being this good, and their future is super bright. But one thing, I don't know if you saw this, dude. I did want to mention they never surpassed 21 shots in a single game in this series.
Yeah,
not
fuck.
great.
That's
Also, in Ovi's 20-year career,
dude,
they have got past the second round one time, and it was when they won the cup. Can you fucking believe that?
it's, there was a million. I'll say this: it's very hard to win in the playoffs. And I've said many times that top end talent doesn't automatically win in hockey the way it can in basketball, for example. You don't play enough minutes and all that shit. We saw a million people in the chat during the Kings loss, Dan, with all the Kopi stats of once he became captain, blah, blah, whatever. So there's bad stats for a lot of guys out there, but it is crazy to me that you never even made it to the semis.
He's done it one time.
In my mind, it was all, and you're running up against Sid a lot and all that shit, and it's not an indictment on him, and also nobody's.
Dude, I think it is.
I
think
guess
it is.
Probably is.
That is unforgivable, dude. And it's not so much against Ovi as it is against the franchise. Like, you're telling me you have Alexander Ovechkin, you have the greatest goal scorer in the history of the league. You've had guys like Holtby, you've got LT now, you had Backstrom, you had Semin, you've had so many great players. You have Carlson, you had Mike Green, and you're telling me that you went to the conference finals one fucking time. Also kind of sick for Ovi that he's undefeated in conference finals and Stanley Cups. But it's unforgivable, dude. It's unforgivable to have this man for 20 years and only make it to one Eastern Conference final.
I guess, though, I was going to say, any crowd that's like, he's in the Mount Rushmore conversations, I know he's not literally that, but even close to that, I'm like, he can't be because of this stat. But I guess I just never had him there, though. I was always he's the greatest goal scorer of all time, but just is a tier below the guys.
But buddy,
and I think that this proves it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. As much as I want to disagree with you, I'm with you. But we are. I don't want to say we're in the minority, but this is not a universal take. People come in our DMs and scream at us for not having Ovi in the Mount Rushmore conversation.
I know,
and I'm like, Mount Rushmore, dude. Let's talk top 10. I'm being dead ass.
They won that one cup, Dan.
I'm being dead ass about that. It's interesting. I'm not ragging on O because he's the best. He's like we said, the best goal scorer of all time,
and he's the fucking man.
To me, and he's the fucking man. It's more of an indictment on the team, but to the team, they got a great future. Ryan Leonard, they've got Cole Hudson, they've got Tarek Parasik, Ilya Protas, Andrew Crystal. They've got great prospects. And now the Canes, though, last thing on the Canes, headed to the conference final for the third time in 7 years. They are 0-8 in conference finals under Rod. And swept by the Bruins in 19, swept by the Cats in 23. So they might have a Cats rematch here. They might have Toronto. This is a different team. We love this Canes team. We love the love that the organization has shown us. We obviously love so many guys on that team. But this is huge for them. I mean, if you're playing the Cats, you have the revenge factor of we got swept by this team 2 years ago in this round. And if you're playing Toronto, I think you have to go. I mean, our guys have way more playoff pedigree and experience, and you have to take advantage. So that'll be huge.
Dan,
okay.
I was just going to say,
please.
In their off time, I think they need to. I made a list. I think they should just do the most boring things on earth to keep them in this boring hockey zone. I'm literally talking commute during rush hour, schedule unnecessary meetings, wait on hold, anything they can do to remain boring. I think really behooves them.
Just balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
like do a lot of, like really, really
wait in line,
mundane
find a
stuff.
line, wait in it, dude.
Yeah.
Just sit there. Like, I think that is actually the way forward for them to just really hammer this point home and just make sure they stay in the right mind space.
Agree, man. Bake some bread. I mean, we started it for them, and we talked to Jarvie last night, and they've embraced it. Like, boring is their thing, and I'm like, yeah, we'll be boring. We'll be boring all day. Back into Jets Stars. This game, CP. Were you a little surprised? I mean, JD just said it very well. This is a crazy defend home ice series. Like these teams are they're much better at home, much worse on the road. I thought with that really back-breaking 3-1 lead, I expected a little more from the Stars, and I thought they came out super flat. 4 shots in the first, 5 shots in the second. They dialed it up heavy in the third, but yeah, they just weren't really testing Hellebuck for me.
Yeah, man, they looked like a team that was like, we're good and we can just go home. They were like, all right, we'll just go home and win this, which is obviously not what they were literally doing and would be a massively dangerous game against the President's Trophy and Vezina winner. But yeah, there was no jump. The only thing I'll add, though, that slightly disagrees with JD is I thought Winnipeg, the team, played well in Game 4 in Dallas. Like, they were kind of all over them, and Otter was fucking nasty. And then Helly let in a couple, like, the granny, like, 1T was a fucking sick shot. But the first 2 granny ones, I was kind of like, I want those. Mm-hmm. But that's one where I'm like, oh, Otter kind of stole that game. So they were pretty good. So to me, I'm like, oh, I think the Jets were just riding like we've had a lot of momentum talks lately, but I feel like the Jets were just riding we played not that bad in game 4, and now we need this one, backs against the wall. They stepped up, and early, it looked like Otter was just going to do it again. I was like, oh, yeah, you're dead. Like, Otter's about to go back-to-back shutties, basically, and you're fucked. But they were ready to play at puck drop, and Dallas wasn't, that's for sure. Everyone but Otter.
I do think Otter got a little hosed in this game. That first goal was obviously bullshit. Like, Scheifele throws one, it hits a stick, then it hits Harley's leg, and then 2 power play goals. Like, it is what it is. And that the 3-man advantage was tough in the third period. But ultimately, good showing from the Jets. I think getting through that first with no goals and holding them to 4 shots, like they're taking care of Hellebuck, and Hellebuck is doing his job. That was huge. And you've got guys like Ehlers and Scheifele. Ehlers coming back, by the way. We thought there was a chance that Ehlers would miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Coming back, and now I think he has 4 goals already or something like that. It's like 3 or 4, and that's massive. So the crowd was buzzing, and this to me was a game where the Jets, their fans, Hellebuck, did everything they needed to do to keep the series alive. So that's what we've got. Got a shutout. What do you think about Helly right now? Like, he looked incredible in the third. To me, it was like through the first 2, I really didn't think Dallas tested him. But then 13 shots, there was like a flurry of chances. We obviously had, they went 0 for 4 in the power play, so they had 4 power plays. Are you thinking like this erases how things have gone in the playoffs and in this series, or is it all about like, well, we're going on the road again, so nothing fucking matters? Dude,
I think the latter, bro, because he kind of did this against St. Louis, where it's like, oh shit, we lose 3 and 4 and I get fucking yanked, yanked job. I suck. And then he comes home and is nasty in Game 5, and they're like, never mind, he's back, we're good. And then it's like, oh shit, we suck again in Game 6. And then I actually, he wasn't even that good in Game 7 against St. Louis. But in this one, back-to-back shutouts at home, but I still think it's in his head. It exists in his head. As much as he's like, no, this is not a thing, whatever. He's going to get there. A great first period could go a long way. If he has an incredible first period in Dallas and it's 0-0 at the break, I think he's like, see, well, I'm fine. It's all fixed. But God, dude, if Dallas gets one early, even if it's not even a bad goal, if Dallas gets one early, they are like, you're dead. We own you on the road, and it's all over. So nothing is fixed for me until he does it. Like, I will never believe he's good on the road until he pitches a shutout or 1-goal game to steal one.
Yeah, I think that's right, man. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I think that's we go into the conversations we've had about does momentum go from game to game? Does it not? You can have conversations about that, but Yeah, and this to me, CP, it goes into I had said, I tweeted from my personal, if I were Dallas with about 10 minutes left in that third period, I think you're down 2-0, and I was like, yeah, it looks like you're gonna lose. I was completely unfazed. If I'm a Dallas fan, if I'm a member of that Dallas team, I'd be like, whatever. It's hard to win up here. We're up 3-1. We get to go back home now and fucking piss bump them. We're out of here. But then that game got a little out of control. Like,
they
get that third goal. Looked like Dallas was getting a little mental. You know, we have Ben fucking donkey punching Scheifele. Little bit of a shit show situation going on. And I'm not saying that if I'm Dallas, I'm now like rattled, but I'm like, that was good fight from Winnipeg. Good fight from Winnipeg. We kind of lost our composure here. But again, it is, you know, it's one of those things, just shake it off. You got a day off in between. You head back down to Texas. And you and I, or go.
No, go ahead.
No, it looked like you had a stroke of.
Well, I was going to say, because on that Ben thing, I've had a lot to say about antics towards the end of games.
Sure.
Where I'm kind of like, dude, stop. I thought St. Louis did it against Winnipeg. I thought Toronto did it against Florida. Where I'm like, you just don't need this. Like, you've lost this game. Go home. You don't need to send. There's no message you're sending right here.
Yeah.
And this flirted with that. This got close. It's Jamie Benn, so he kind of that's the rep to a degree. But this flirted with. I was like, hey, dude, you had a ricochet one go in and a couple power play goals. The 5-on-3 brutal. Just fucking leave.
I do have one thing to say, and I can't believe I'm going to do this. I might lose some fans here.
Oh no.
I'm going to defend Jamie Benn a little bit. Jamie Benn, I don't know why he's like public enemy number one in the NHL. People love, and it's not like, oh, I hate Marchand, I hate Sam Bennett, I hate Tom Wilson. People just like hate Jamie Benn. They're like, you know, they call those guys rats. People call Jamie Benn like a piece of shit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down. I will defend him a little bit here, though, because there were a few Dallas fans who were like, Scheifele's a bitch. He flopped on that punch. I would love to see any one of you take that punch to the chin. Like that. I'm not saying that was a Mike Tyson knockout, but guys, that was a good punch that Jamie Benn threw, and he got fined. And that was perfect. I don't even think he should have got a fine, to be perfectly honest. But they gave him a $5,000 PP whack. We all move on from here.
Wait, before we continue. Before we continue with this,
you're going to cut my legs out for me, and I can't defend Jamie Benn.
Oh, I thought that was the defense.
That wasn't it at all.
Oh,
and
okay.
I got people in the chat saying that, Hunter says you fucking lost me. Hold on, Hunter. Let me explain. First of all, people asked why Scheifele got a penalty on that. People asked how possibly Dallas got a power play off of that. Third man in, guys. You got to pay attention. Third man in. Scheifele came in as the third man in. And if you want to go back and watch that replay, Scheifele is straight up kicking Ben. Like with skates on, he is kicking Jamie Benn in the legs. And I think that was a big reason Ben socked him, because he was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? So
he was pissed, dude.
Yes. Like that wasn't just like I'm frustrated. That was I'm punching you in the face because you were just kicking me with skates on. And I love it. I love the energy. I love the fight from both of them. So like, it is what it is, but I'm just saying that he deserves a slight bit of defense. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. The only thing I wanted to interrupt, because we'll come back to the Stars, or we'll continue to dive into this series, but I might actually hear a mortal lock walking into the room.
Oh no.
There's a chance. There's a chance, Dan.
Christ, dude, give me
that a mortal lock has arrived. I think this is on.
This guy's
should be good to go.
Oh my god. Wait, is that a fresh haircut on Locks?
Yeah.
Dude, fresh cut, fresh locks. We've been flying close to the sun, dude. We've been perfect. I don't know the last time we missed a pick on the ice. I think it's been 4 straight nights.
Yeah.
I agree. And also Locks, we got 2 empty nets last night too.
Dan, and I've said the picks. I've texted you the picks.
Yeah, every time. I have the receipts.
Game 1, we rolled with the Stars with talking about this series. We laid off game 2.
Yeah.
I was too sketched out. Once we went back to Dallas, rolled Stars game 3, Stars game 4 last night, then rolled Jets. Needed a game 6 in order for the Oilers to kind of
get some rest.
McDavid's
rest. Hurt. McDavid went into the end boards. His collarbone's all fucked up.
Yep. Panthers series has been incredible to us. The Canes-Caps series, Caps, dead, was incredible to us. We were rolling with the Canes -1.5. We found an empty netter at the end of that game.
Yeah, I had to have it.
Yep. I just heard you boys talking about the end of last night's game. Unreal empty netter. That guy got socked in the face. He kind of played possum. He played dead for a second. Fucking got right back up.
But so pissed.
Yeah. I was like, wait, did he just get knocked out? And then remembered how mad he just was. It was a wild thing.
It looked like one of those soccer injuries when the guy's like been shot from the crowd, and then the ref gives him the card, and then he jumps up and kicks the dude.
Yeah, but for tonight, when talking about that Stars series, though, Stars are going to go back to Dallas, Dan, and slap. Series over, Game 6. They're not going to Game 7. Not a shot in hell. The Stars are going to take care of business, and this next series is going to feed the homeless. It's going to feed families, Oilers, Stars. It does not get better than this.
Rematch from Western Conference Finals last year.
Dude, if there wasn't a desk here, you would see below my waist, and then we would have to place this.
We have to blur it.
Yep, we would have to blur it.
Yeah, this would be on OnlyFans, not
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then talking about the game tonight, dude.
Cats Leafs Game 6 in Sunrise.
We said, Dan, what did I say? When the Leafs went up 2-0, get the Panthers down 2-0, plus 170 to win this series. Now they're going to do it in 6. Tonight, give us the Panthers -1.5 on the puck line. We did it last game. We're going to do it this game. And the boys are going to be buzzing.
Oh,
I mean, I can't wait for the Eastern, Western, the Cup prediction, Oilers, Canes.
Oilers Canes.
Wow.
The last time the Canes won the Cup was it what, 06? I think.
The Canes was 04. No.
04?
Maybe 06.
Somewhere in there. And guess who they beat?
Come on. Edmonton?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Bounce back here. Look, fellas, there's nothing like playoff hockey. It's been a pleasure just to bet, to watch, to sweat, butt cheeks clenched. Fellas, who has it better than us?
Nobody right now. Do you think it's tonight, do you think it's Cats up 1 and they get an empty netter to cover the puck line, or are they up like 5-0? This is a bloodbath.
It's slap.
Yeah,
Leafs,
pummel.
they're already 1 foot in the grave.
Belt to ass, dude. Belt to ass.
1 foot in the grave, unfortunately.
Dude, I actually heard a rumor, Locks.
I thought the Caps game would be more ugly, honestly, when they were going against the Canes in that closeout series, because it felt like they were already dead. But they gave a good fight and ended up, covering the puck line barely.
Caps were at home, though. Like, Toronto's going to go on the road and just gets fucking ragged.
Also, boys, I heard a rumor that when they loaded up the team plane yesterday, Toronto headed down yesterday, I heard they loaded up all the golf clubs with the hockey bags because they're going to be in Florida. Dude. They're just going to hit the links right after.
No, Dan, no.
That's a link. That is a nugget. That's a nugget like none other right there. So there's the pick for tonight. Panthers -1.5. Fade it, tail it. Tell it to the fucking mailman. We'll see you on the other side.
Oh, my God. And Locke's been hot, dude. Locke's been very hot.
Maybe it's a good time to fade on the ice then. Maybe Leafs money line might be the play. But no, fellas, appreciate you. And Panthers -1.5.
Come on.
Stars, Game 6.
Game 6.
And then Oilers, Canes, Cup. Oilers win the Cup, baby.
Someone get on that future. Someone get on that future big time.
That just paid your mortgage, folks. That just paid your mortgage. All right, let's get back into the series because CP, you and I added some good ideas. Heading back down to Dallas, Locks just said it's going to be a lock. I think we wanted to point out, guys, we've got a lot of Finns in Dallas, right? We got the Finnish mafia going on down there, and I'm starting to think this might be something. We see how good Dallas has become. You look at all the Finns on this team. They pick up Rantanen. They pick up Granlund. Maybe creating these little communities in these cities is a key to Stanley Cup success. There's a chance. There's a chance. And I also want to blow your mind with something here. What do you think the population of Finland is?
Oh my God, you're going to embarrass me on
No.
TV.
I won't even make you guess. I won't even make you guess. It's
150 people total.
Yes, that's you actually nailed it. It's 5.5 mil. A little bit higher probably over the last I think that was a 2024 survey, but like 5.5, we'll call it 5.5 to 5.8 mil. What do you think the population of Dallas is?
180 people total.
Dude, it's like 33 million.
33. Holy shit. So yeah, you gotta create a little.
Well, here's the thing, Chris. Normally, when you set up a community of another nation somewhere, you call it little, right? Like you go to Los Angeles, you got You've got Chinatown. You got like little Italies. You got little Chinas. You got little Korea. Little Osaka.
Yep.
I think we got big Finland, dude, because everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes, Dan.
So in Texas, we're going to set up a community of big Finland. We're going to increase Finland, and we're going to take a bunch of Finnish cultures. I know you got a lot of Finnish culture things that we could implement in Texas to make these Finns feel even more at home. And all of a sudden, they feel so good that they win a cup.
Yeah, that it brings them the cup, and then it brings them all the future Finn players.
Yes.
Like everyone that is ever going to be born in Finland and become a superstar is going to be like, there's one place for me, and it's Dallas, and I'll take a hometown discount.
Yes. And dude, you know what I think, CP? What I think why they all flock there, why they feel so safe there? It's hot in Texas, right?
Yeah.
It's a really hot. It's like a sauna there.
Dude, this is such a good take.
The Finns love saunas, and they walk around Texas and they go, "It's like I'm in a sauna every single day."
Dude, it's an outdoor sauna. This place is gas.
They walk around, they go like this.
It's free. It's a free sauna.
Are you guys just saunaing all the time? Is it just every day you walk outside and we're just in a sauna? And they go, yeah. And they go, I love it here, dude. I feel at home. We're going to start playing well. It's unbelievable.
Dude, when I looked up online the 3 biggest Finnish culture things. I was literally like, internet, what are the 3 most important things to be Finnish? One, in no order, but one of them is saunas. Like they love saunas. And then listen to these other 2, dude. I'm going to say it wrong probably, but it says...
I think I know one of them, and it's hilarious.
One of them is Sisu, I think. SISU. A uniquely Finnish concept. Sisu represents resilience, determination, and perseverance in the face of adversity. And I was like, wow, what a great thing to have. And then number 3, dude. Sisu, sauna, and silence. Finns value peace and personal space. Silence is considered a form of communication and respected.
Dude, silence is fucking golden.
Dude, can you imagine the Stars locker room between periods? Just nobody speak. Like they look to Ranton and they go, "We need you, big dog." To go into the third period, he goes like this. Shh.
Wait. Chris, we got the chat right now saying Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington is 8.3. Guys, I'm saying Texas. If I said Dallas, that's my bad. The population of Texas is 33 million, not Dallas. Come on, get out of here. CP, I love that. And like, imagine how quiet a Finnish sauna must be.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. No chat, because that can be annoying in the sauna sometimes. You know, where you're like, "This fucking guys, I don't know him. I don't need to hear this story. I'm just trying to relax for 10 minutes." Finnish sauna, silent, dude. Dallas Stars locker room, silent. This is actually a really special thing. And don't even get me started on the food, Dan. I had a thought where, you know how there's a type of great Mexican food in Texas, and it's like Tex-Mex because it's the thing. I was like, oh, dude, the Finnish food, Texas food combo, a Finnish barbecue or something.
I had a thought on this. I had a thought on this.
And tell me what you like, because I found some cool foods, but I wanted to call it Texland. That's like the Tex-Mex, you know, the Finnish.
Is Tex-Fin not better?
Tex-Fin?
Yeah, because Texland could be anything, right?
Well, what else ends in land? Greenland. Okay, it could be Greenland. That's the only... But I mean, come on, dude. Is it green? There's no food in Greenland. Greenland is all ice, dude. Have you seen the Mighty Ducks? It's all ice.
Well, it could be Iceland, too. They could be...
It could be Iceland.
You could be mixing it up
Fuck!
You could be
Yeah, you're right.
With Puffin, dude. So here's the thing. Texfin.
Fintex maybe is better. That sounds like a fucking startup, though.
Fintex, it sounds too much like tech. You're right.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that, but some of the things I really like. I like where your head's at with the combos here. Kalakuko, great word. A lot of great Finnish words. Kalakuko is a savory pie made of fish inside a rye crust. So let's get this a little Texasy.
Yep.
Get some catfish in there, dude.
Oh shit, dude.
Like, I'm sure it's some incredible Finnish fish, but to make it that Tex Fin, we're going to go catfish in there, dude.
I love that, dude.
We'll call it Calico Cat.
I fucking love it. And, dude, there's got to be something. What animals are in Finland? I don't even know.
Also, Chris, you're getting bodied right now. Scotland, Ireland, Thailand, Switzerland. Like, there's
so many lands. There's actually only lands.
Swaziland. Like, come on, bro.
There's in fact only lands, dude. That is unbelievable. And there's got to be something to barbecue, right? Like, don't they have sick animals that we could We could slap some barbecue sauce
dude,
on.
yeah. They like they got
me
reindeer.
look.
They're
Hold on.
eating reindeer up there for sure.
Oh, dude, reindeer. Holy fuck. A smoked reindeer? Are you shitting me?
good.
Dude, that's some fin. What do you want? Tex fin? That's some Tex fin right there. Oh my God. Dude, we have to do this. I actually really think this could change the fate of the team and both nations.
I just think Texas, you got to embrace Big Finland. Big Finland is now in Texas. We're going to start. Someone needs to open up a shop or open up a restaurant, and it's going to be called. They got elk in there too, says Gillette. It's so true. Dalinki is pretty good, like Helsinki with Dallas. Dalinki might be it. Gillette, that's fucking class, brother.
Dalinki is gas.
So
Holy
we're gonna set up Big Finland. Big Finland is now in Dallas.
Yeah.
And Dalinki is the name of the restaurant, and it's going to be a combination of Dallas, Texas, Finnish cuisines. Calicut is going to be the signature dish.
Calicut and brisket, reindeer brisket.
Yeah, reindeer brisket and calicut. And what are we calling reindeer brisket, chat? The chat is buzzing right now with some of these suggestions.
Dude, reindeer with some
brisket.
red nose sauce. Ty says red nose sauce is the hot sauce.
Yeah, red nose sauce on that for sure, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, calicut is a fish pie with a rye crust and catfish. Dude, Cheryl says reindeer brisket sounds amazing. I agree. It sounds fucking incredible.
Dude, this says Finland is a paradise for bird watchers, and it lists some of the birds, and one of them is the golden eagle. How does fucking Finland have a golden eagle and we don't? We got to get that over here. That's insane.
Christ, dude. Marahute, dude.
Marahute, dude. That's dating us. That is dating us so bad, dude. But Marahute, anyone in the chat that knows what Marahute is from.
Actually, yeah, don't say what it's from.
Gets a fucking gold star.
No. I will straight up right now. If chat, don't you dare fucking look it up. But if someone in the chat in the next 2 minutes says what Marahute is from without looking it up, I will send you a t-shirt because that would be a sick pull. But man, let me tell you what, Big Texas and Dalinki is so gas. And we're gonna set it up, dude. And also, if and when Dallas makes the Stanley Cup final and we will be down there, I need to know that someone is going to make me calicut with some catfish. We're going to make a fish pie with catfish.
Because we've already been messaged a lot of some barbecue spots, which is a point I actually want to circle back to in a second, Dan. But we've been messaging a lot of barbecue spots have been messaging us already.
Holy shit, CP!
Someone got it.
Stan just ripped Rescuers down under, dude.
Oh my God, dude!
Stan's going nuts right now.
And dude, with the all caps, I believe him. Like it was going to be hard to prove. Someone didn't look up, but I actually believe he might know that.
Wait, Amy Fair just said yes. We have golden eagles here. Amy, are you in Finland or are you in Texas? Are you claiming that there are golden eagles in Texas?
She's in Dalinki, dude.
She's in Dalinki right now.
Of course she's
in the kitchen, dude. She's in the kitchen making calicut.
Oh my God, dude, that is insane.
Oh, fucking A. This is unbelievable.
Dude, I got to go to Finland. I actually thought I was a big Finland isn't a real place guy for a while. That conspiracy theory I really liked.
Yeah.
And I thought it was completely made up. But now doing some deep dives here, like I actually might need to make this a top priority visit for me moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, didn't we find out that Brown Bear is like the name of their anthem or something? Or like, I don't know. They've got so much, or it's just like it's Finland's fucking gas, dude. And now we've got Big Finland in Texas. All right.
Well, Dan, to discuss what I was referencing with the barbecue places reaching out, I will say, and I'm guilty of this too. You less than me, but I'm guilty of this too. The Stars going up 3-1 had people, and I know there's plenty of Dallas fans in this chat, had people going, not only have they beaten Winnipeg already, but they are also in the cup already. Like many messages about like, can't wait till you guys get down here. You got to come to this barbecue spot, all this stuff. And I'm like, we have a lot of work to do here before we're
Oh,
making
yeah.
cup plans, dude. Before I'm booking flights.
That game 4 win was so emphatic that they got horny. They got a little too horny.
Yep.
And I'll never blame someone for getting too horny, especially not on a Friday. But I do think Dallas is the better team. I think they look really, really solid. Yeah, closing this out. Fucking Matt Boldy Glazer just joined.
We can't stop now. Can't stop now.
I know. I'm just saying, Boldy Glazer, you just missed maybe the best 10 minutes in this show's history. We declared a new territory. We declared a new cuisine. So yeah. What I'll say is, yeah.
Dan, wait though. On that topic, dude, I actually don't know that if Hellebuck plays great in Game 6.
Yeah.
I think I think the Jets will be favorites in Game 7. Like if Hellebuck plays great in Game 6 and they win that game, I think the Jets will be the favorites in Game 7.
I completely
agree. And then all of a sudden, the Rocket men and women should rise up because there's a chance. The book will have the Oilers because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
But like the Jets, that's a matchup they think they can win too. Like I legitimately think if they win Game 6 in Dallas and Helly plays great, the Jets we can go to the Cup. It's that significant of a swing.
I don't disagree at all, CP. And yeah, if Winnipeg wins 2 in a row, including 1 in Dallas, and now they're going home, they're definitely favored. So this is what's interesting, man. Is I think Dallas is the better team, and I think they're very confident tomorrow night going into the game. But it's not must win for them, but they are like, take care of business now. Like do not go back to Winnipeg. So that's going to be interesting. Tonight will be interesting. Obviously, we're going to see if the Panthers can close out and send the Leafs goodbye.
What do you think tonight, Dan?
I'm with locks on every single pick. I listen, I believe in this Maple Leafs team, and I'll say it over and over again. This is not over. This is not going to be a lay down game. I think it's going to be super close. I think we're going to be really impressed with how the Leafs play. But I do think that unfortunately you gave Florida life, and they have their claws in it. They have their claws deep in it, and their experience and their pedigree is just so difficult to compete with. And as much as people up north want to shit talk, that barn down in Sunrise is fucking mental, and those guys love playing on that ice. So it's going to be a hard game to win.
I actually, God, I've been so wrong about the Leafs. Like every fucking game I pick in that Leaf series has been wrong. But as insane as it sounds, I think they could take this one because it's like the way they play. You know what it reminded me of, Dan? Honestly, was Caps Canes Game 1. Where the Caps were legit embarrassing at home. Like I think they took like 12 shots and they were horrible. And that's all everybody was talking about. And they came out and won Game 2. Now, granted, they were home for Game 2 also, but it was just like that. Sometimes it takes an embarrassing effort like that to get your best effort out of you the next game. That I think you're going to see the Leafs' best game of the series here. And then I might have them losing Game 7 still, which is fucked and so Leafs. But I'm like, dude, they could do it, dude. They could do it tonight.
They could. I do want to give Jennifer some flowers. She just said, doesn't DeBoer have a 9-0 record in Game 7s? And he does, but he has never won a Game 7 at the fucking Wall. So that's just something.
Yeah. And it looks like it's Wall again. Like Stoley's still hurt. Yeah. So you're going to get Wall again. Needs a good one.
All right, so that was a fucking unbelievable episode. Holy shit. If anyone joined late, like Glazer, Glazer just said, is Delinky Dallas Helsinki? It sure is, baby. You're on it. You're sharp. But we always post these episodes later so you can watch the full thing. CP, show them the shirt real quick. Look at the Netters bear. Bet you didn't realize that we had it in t-shirt form as well. We do. Check out the Ice is Ready Formula One shirt. Look at that fucking Zamboni, dude. Your boy designed that.
I know. I love it so much.
We've got new links in all our socials, guys. We got a brand new emptynetters.shop store. Actually, producer Edge, why don't you throw that in the chat? Emptynetters.shop. Check that out.
Wait, I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, Emptynetters.shop. That is our new storefront. It's amazing. We got all of our sick merch on there. We've got a bunch of new stuff coming for all of you. Enjoy that. Subscribe to the YouTube, guys. Share the pod with some friends. Please, let's get this chat even hotter than it is for the next shows. You guys got me on all of you guys got it on all of the podcasts dropping. We love you guys. That's it for our Friday live show. We'll be buzzing all weekend on all of the socials, and we will see you again on Monday morning, bright and early. And until we see you then, CP, tell everybody what to do over the weekend.
enjoy the weekend of hockey, and